Hey everyone, so today I am going to be talking about kidney stones. I wanted to share my story and my experience with them because the whole situation has really kind of impacted, I don't want to say impacted my life like it changed me as a person or something, but it's definitely been a big part of the past 6 months for me. So to give a little background on me and my experience, about 6 months ago I got an ultrasound because I was having some it wasn't severe, it was just a bit of pain in my stomach area, and the doctors just kind of wanted to see if there's anything going on. So I had an abdominal ultrasound, and the pain actually just ended up resolving itself, and by the time the ultrasound was booked I didn't even have the pain anymore. So there wasn't really a point in doing the ultrasound, but they wanted to do it anyway. So I had it done, and there was obviously nothing wrong with my stomach or anything like that. But what they did find was 2 kidney stones, one in each kidney, and they were 3 millimeters and 4 millimeters in size. So they were on the small side. They were still passable, so there wasn't any medical intervention needed at that time. But my doctor told me that I would need to have a 6-month follow-up ultrasound to see if they had grown or if they had been causing complications, stuff like that. So when I heard all this, I didn't really know what kidney stones were. So I started researching them, and that kind of consumed my life for a bit. I would spend literally hours a day researching these things and hearing people's stories, learning about treatment options, different kinds of stones, what helps, what doesn't help, what causes them. And I was really starting to freak out because every single story, I must have read 500 people's stories, and every single one of them talked about how horrible the pain was when passing a kidney stone. Now, my kidney stones were still in my kidney, so I wasn't experiencing the excruciating pain yet, but from what I read, the pain could start basically at any minute. I mean, kidney stones can stay in your kidneys and not move down into the ureter, which is what causes the pain. They can stay in your kidneys for, you know, a couple weeks or a couple years. So there's no real way to know when they're going to pass. So this started really freaking me out. I started not wanting to go out in case they would pass while I was out and I'd get in this excruciating pain. I didn't want to drive because I was afraid I'd be driving and they'd start passing. And I mean, looking back on it, it sounds like kind of an irrational fear, but in that time, this was just so scary to me. I felt like I was waiting for, you know, any second for me to be in the worst pain that I've ever been in my life, because that's how everyone described it. I heard people say it was, you know, excruciating pain, the worst pain they've ever felt, worse than childbirth. One guy said he'd been shot and it was way worse than being shot, and I was just really freaking out. And then I started reading up about treatment options. And the first thing I read was an article or some paragraphs from a book that a urologist had wrote. So this is a doctor who specializes in kidney stones. And he was writing about how there is absolutely nothing that can dissolve a kidney stone. Kidney stones do not dissolve. They're hard calcium deposits, or at least 90% of them are primarily made of calcium. And that there's nothing that can dissolve them. No medicine, no food, no natural remedy, nothing. The only way that you could get rid of a kidney stone was to A, pass it by yourself and go through that pain, or B, have something like lithotripsy or some medical intervention done. So that was really discouraging to read. I was also finding out that people with kidney stones are supposed to be on a low oxalate diet. And what that basically means is you can't eat foods that are high in oxalates. And foods that are really hard to avoid and also very healthy. Things like berries, nuts, collard greens, any greens, basically spinach, stuff like that. Lots of vegetables you can't eat, a lot of fruit you can't eat. And it was very, very, very restricting. And I didn't even try to do it because I thought, you know, I didn't see the logic in cutting out all of these super healthy foods from my diet. I just felt like it was going to do more harm than good. So I never even went that route. In fact, I've still been eating things like strawberries and nuts every single day. So after reading all this discouraging stuff, I was still really looking for a way to get rid of these things. I wasn't going to give up. And I finally came across a website called earthclinic.com. And I read on there all these people who were talking about using lemons to cure kidney stones, lemon juice and olive oil mixed together. And then I heard about other people using just lemon juice in large amounts. You would drink a full cup of lemon juice, and then every hour you drink an ounce of lemon juice with lots of water throughout the day. And people were getting great results, and you know, they would go to follow-up x-rays and ultrasounds and the stones would be gone. And at this point I started feeling like there was actually hope, and it was really encouraging. So I kept reading about this stuff, and the only problem for me was that I have a sensitive stomach, so being able to, you know, drink cups of lemon juice in one day wasn't going to happen for me. I knew that. So what I did with the lemon juice was I would kind of drink it here and there. I'd sometimes make a salad dressing just of lemon juice and olive oil, and I'd mix it up and put it on my salad. And the lemon juice thing, about once a month I might drink half a cup of it, and drink lots of water that day, but I really wasn't doing anything too intense with that. And then I read about a herb called Chenkov Piedra, and it's a rainforest herb, and it had been, I guess, known for its ability to dissolve calcium deposits in the body. There's a little bit less information on this than there was on the whole lemon juice thing. I couldn't find too many people talking about it, but I did find a few, and the people that I did find had pretty encouraging reviews. So I decided to give that a try, and I purchased mine from iherb.com. I'll put a link in the description for the site, and I'll also put a link for a coupon code to get $5 off your first order, because that's what I used. And it looks like this. It's just basically a tincture kind of thing, and you just kind of put a couple droppers in some water and then drink it, and you can do that up to two or more times daily, I guess it says. I did it once a day, and I only did it for about, I did it like every second day for like a month. So I wasn't even doing as much as I guess you were supposed to, but I figured it was worth a shot because, I mean, this bottle is about $18, I think, and I mean, I would pay $18 to avoid the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, so I had no problem doing that. So anyway, that's what I did, and that's all I did for the past 6 months. And so fast forward to today, it's been 6 months since my last ultrasound, and today I had an ultrasound follow-up to see how the stones were doing. I don't think I really believed they were gone. I was kind of hoping that they would shrink at least a bit, but I ended up going to the appointment, and the ultrasound technician looked at me and he said, "Where are your stones?" And I was just so happy. I just felt like doing all this stuff. People thought I was crazy for doing it, but it actually worked. I didn't pass these stones. I never went through any pain, so I didn't pass these stones naturally. The only explanation would be that they dissolved, and I absolutely 100% believe that it was because of this stuff and because of drinking lemon juice, you know, every so often. So I wanted to share my story because when I had first heard I was getting kidney stones, I was searching everywhere for any story, anything positive, any bit of hope, and I couldn't find anything. It was so hard, and when I finally came across the Earth Clinic website and saw that there were people, you know, getting rid of these things without the pain, without the suffering, and on their own, that was what really, you know, encouraged me. And so if this video, you know, helps even one person that's dealing with stones not have to go through that pain or not have to go through the unnecessary surgery, then it's worth it. So yeah, anyone who is suffering or has suffered from kidney stones in the past, please give these natural remedies a try because they absolutely worked for me, and I know they've worked for others too, so there's really nothing to lose. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing I wanted to talk about today. But if anyone has any questions or wants to hear more about it, please feel free to contact me and I will definitely reply. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will have a new video, probably an update on pots sometime soon. So stay happy and stay healthy.